Is this just gonna be like the Sayuri killing herself scene, but this time it's gonna be different because we don't go back in time? Behind me, a door opens up. A warm, blinding light calls to me. I walk up to it. I can't see anything. Nonetheless, I step through, wholeheartedly accepting my fate, and more importantly, loving it. A warmness takes over as I drift into the white void. The warmth bathes me, birthing me into a new life. Alright, let's go. I wake up gasping for air, as though I had been choked for an eternity. Once the fear settles down, clarity returns. I look over at my phone. It's Sunday, a day before the festival. But more importantly, it's the start of a new week. My head is killing me. My head is throbbing in agony with each new breath I take. I can't even remember what I had done last night. All I do know is I have to pay Sayuri a visit. Bearing the pain, I force myself out of bed and get ready for the day ahead of me. I get dressed, brush my teeth, and get ready and get something in my stomach. Bruh. As well as an extra dosage of pain medicine, aka Vicodin. We're just popping Vicodin. I sit down for a few moments to let the pain wane away. After a while, I head through the door towards my friend in need. I knock on her door to no avail. I grab the key from under her mat and let myself inside. Well, she's not on the ground floor either. I walk up to the one place I know I'll find her. I walk up to her bedroom door, but before I knock, I can hear her sobbing. Okay, so this is all. It's like this is all just the same. Yeah, it's me, Sayuri. Can I come in? Yeah. Always talk about it. Yeah. This is all the same. Hey, Sayuri. Hey. Wait, this is different.
I'm a little glad you stopped by. I never see you here anymore.
It really has been that long. This is slightly... Okay, so the dialogue is slightly different. Alright, so I'll read it. But times haven't changed, have they? I guess the more things change, the more they stay the same, huh?
I guess. What brings you over? Aren't you supposed to be helping someone?
I just came to say hi. I'll be out of here in no time. How are your festival preparations? You're up in Monaco, right?
I am. But just online. She never actually planned on meeting in person.
Sayuri, I know you're in pain. I know those little rain clouds are picking on all your scabs.
You mean...
I know you're depressed, Sayuri.
Alright. You got me. Don't you have other things to worry about?
I know where my priorities are, Sayuri.
Huh?
It's normal to feel worried. These emotions come and go just like the waves of a beach.
You don't get it. I've felt this way most of my life. Nothing's changed.
It still eats away at me to hear this. Keep going, Stalin.
Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why have strangers put their time into someone who isn't worth anything? I just want to make everyone happy and not worry.
Do not forget that this pain you feel is something you must endure. Some say life is pain, and so some believe the best way to live is to love pain in the way. I've learned to let fate be my love.
Stalin, how can you say that?
I'm deeply worried for your well-being, don't mistake me for that. But I can't let this worry consume me. I want to help you the best I can.
No, Stalin. There's nothing that can be done. I'm just being selfish. And the world is casting down all the karmic retribution I deserve.
Bruh. That is not something Sayuri would actually say.
Please, let me accept these punishments. There's nothing I deserve more than to accept this burden.
I lightly grab Sayuri by the shoulders and pull her in for a hug. We both love and accept our fate with open arms. But loving your fate doesn't have to be submitting to it. I realize now how terrible of a friend I am. So if anything, I deserve all the bad karma you received. You think? Every trial and tribulation, every fallen tear, and it'll all come back. I've been an unfaithful friend these past few years, and I can't go back in time to fix it. Not this time. I can't atone for all the crimes I've committed, but I can at least cherish what I have before it's gone. I can make the best of this situation, and I wouldn't have seen that without you. I'm sorry, Sayuri. From the bottom of my heart, I wish I could have been a better friend. I hear Sayuri crying. Warm tears fall down to my shoulders.
Please. Please don't do this.
It's alright. Just let it out.
Your hugs are so warm, and that scares me. I don't deserve this. I can't.
We let go. I look into her eyes. The festival is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Would you like to go with me? You can say no.
I think it would be nice.
We can go see a doctor after the festival. Just cherish the little things. Take a look out the window and watch the birds fly. Leaves dance in the wind. Could I sit and watch with you?
No, Stalin. Don't leave your friends waiting. They need you too.
Alright. It's been a blessing to talk to you. Even a rainy day can be a happy one if you think about it the right way. Sayuri nods.
Yeah.
I say farewell to Sayuri and take my leave. I find someone waiting by my door. Someone! With everything done, and my final goodbye said and done, I can finally put this behind me. I try to think of what I'll have to say to Monica and the others once tomorrow's news comes to light. But before I could ponder any further, I saw a familiar red-bowed girl running towards me. Sayuri? What brings you here?
Well, my mind was being a big meanie. So I wanted to see for myself. See how much fun you were having with the others. Your happiness is what matters most to me. But does it hurt so much?
Take a deep breath, Sayuri.
No! I'm supposed to feel happy for you, but every time I see you with everyone else, I feel my heart tearing itself apart. Maybe Monica was right. Maybe it would be easier if I just vanished.
Don't say that, Sayuri. Monica doesn't understand your feelings. I hardly understand your depression, but spending this last week with you, that's something that made me happy. Seeing you smile when I said I'd join the club gave me all the happiness I could ever ask for. I wouldn't trade it for the world. You are my world, Sayuri.
No. Why are you doing this?
I put my hand on her shoulder.
You don't have to worry about me anymore. I'm so weak. I thought I wasn't worth your time anymore. I did this to myself. I don't blame you if you want to spend time with the others at the festival. I want to die. And...
That's enough. I pull her in for one last hug. To my dearest friend, I want you to believe deep in your heart that your life is worth living. You will never be forgotten. You either live or you learn. Just go forth in your life, always continue to move forward. I can't promise to be here for the rest of your life, but I will love you for the rest of mine. Thank you, Sayuri.
Eh? Is this okay?
It is, Sayuri. It always will be.
Thank you. I wish we could stay like this.
Me too. But time keeps moving. You could say time marches on. You know, tomorrow's a big day. Sorry, let's go. I look into her eyes once again. Is it time for us to part ways?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Sayori. Thank you for being my friend. For showing me the literature club. I won't forget this. Thank you. No matter what happens, I will never forget you. You will always be my guiding light in the dark. I watch one final time as Sayori sighs deeply and closes her eyes. Fighting a terrible battle within herself. Fighting who she is. Trying so hard to reach out. To ask for help. To admit she needs help. And to take it. Yet, swatting her own hand away. Telling herself she doesn't deserve help. As she could never deserve it. The impossible battle. After an eternity, one side finally wins, and Sayori opens her eyes again. Her mouth asking me the question I already know she'll ask as the buried side of her reaches out one last time. She steps up to me, and I pull her in as she pulls me in. Both of us understand what her final desperate wish is as we kiss for the last time. To be loved, to be cherished, to be remembered. Eventually, we both break off the kiss and Sayori returns and walks back into her house for the final time as I return to my own. There may be nothing I can do for her, but I can keep her memory alive. Feel all the weight and guilt and past grudges and regrets dissolve. I've never felt so whole, content. Farewell, Sayori. It's the day of the festival. Judgment Day. I didn't bother taking the festival stuff with me. I don't think I was ever meant to attend the festival. I sighed deeply and began my walk over to Sayori's house. I stand outside her door and prepare myself. I know what's on the other side. It feels so natural to do this. I've seen this scene a number of times. Yet, I feel like I shouldn't. But I have to. I don't have any other choice. I gently open the door. But I will not go gently into that darkness. The tolling of a bell plays in my head. Bruh. Bruh, how can we... Bruh. Bruh, how can we make a girl hanging herself be so peaceful and serene? I know. Let's, up the fucking, saturation and exposure. And, let's just play soft piano music in the background. There we go. I'm here. This is what Starry has always been led up to do. And yet, I don't feel weak. I don't feel a dark presence looming over me like a rain cloud. I walk up to her. I'm not going to leave you. Bro, please don't be a sayonara moment. I would not like that. Not like this. I untie the noose in her neck. Her body falls limply onto my arms. I carry her to her bed and lay her down. Put my hands over her eyes and shut them, finally putting her to rest. It's over. There will be another time to grieve. For now, I have to move forward. I pick up my phone and dial 911. 911, what's your emergency? I need help. My friend just committed suicide. Help me. It's like, bruh, help would be on the way momentarily. You should have been like, well, bitch, why the fuck are you calling me? You should be calling the morgue. The operator keeps me online as I try to relax and explain the situation. After the call is over, I dial another number and call Monica.
Stalin, where are you?
There's been an emergency. Sayori... she's gone. She hung herself.
Oh my god.
She hangs up. I wrap my hands around Sayori's, feeling the last remnants of her warmth leave her. After a few moments, I stand up and glance around the room, seeing something on her desk. It's a note. I pick it up and read it.
Farewell. Don't worry about me. Just keep going. Never forget me. And live a life filled with happiness.
I feel my eyes swelling up with tears once again. I told myself I wouldn't cry. No. It's okay for me to feel this way. I let it out. I let out as much as I can. I can handle this. Eventually, I let it all go. I look back at Sayori. I shouldn't stay here any longer. This is really it. I swallowed past the lump in my throat and head downstairs. It isn't long before the police and the other girls arrive. I explain everything to them. The girls and I sit in the living room while the police do their thing.
I'm so sorry, Stalin. I don't know what to say.
That's alright. We're all at a loss for words right now. Yes, number 14. Can we hold a moment of silence? Of course. We all go quiet. Seeing everyone like this is heartwarming in a way. All of us here for one person who is no longer with us. I look over at Monica. Her face is red. Tears roll down her cheeks onto the floor. I've never seen Monica feel this way before. It's like, yeah, it's because you always thought of her as a vindictive, like, two-faced bitch. For no reason at all. It's like, bro, Monica actually has emotions? Besides envy? It's like, bruh, I can't believe it. Monica? Are you crying? I don't blame her. Why wouldn't she cry? Why did it have to be this way? It's not fair.
It's alright. You all have just never seen me like this before. This is my fault. Why didn't I see the signs sooner? I should have come to see Sayuri in person. I could have helped her get through this. I was right to be worried Friday, and...
It's alright, Monica. While we can't go back in time and undo our sins, we can't wallow in regret. The most we can do now is just keep her memory alive.
How? How do we do that?
Well, you start with some stories about her. Surely you have some funny stories about her, right?
Yeah, you're right. She had a way of making me laugh, even if her jokes are really bad. This one time she told me she hated stairs, and she followed up by saying, because they always are up to something. I don't know why, but I just kept laughing my ass off. I think it was the way she said it. What about you all?
Well, I remember she tried a lot of new things. I think I was showing her how to write my poems back before we started to share them. She asked me, how come all your poems are so gloomy? Smile a little. She said, a poem that shines can be just as beautiful. Number 13. Besides, Monica Sayori's one of the few friends I've ever had.
A fond memory is a good one. I remember one time when we first started the club, I had tasked Sayori with delivering the club's paperwork to the office. After a week, I looked on the list of school clubs and see that I was president of the book club. I remember arguing with Sayori the difference between literature and books, but she found a way to make me laugh at the absurdity of the situation. I ran down to the office and corrected the mistake. I still laugh about it sometimes to this day.
Always count on Sayori.
What about you? You've known her for years. Surely you have a lot of stories about her.
Well, I do. Starting on which to tell is a good question. How about how we met?
This might be interesting.
Yes, please do tell. Well, the details are kind of fuzzy, but what I do know is that when I was about 4 or 5, I had recently moved. Being a kid, moving homes was a bit hard. Everything around me was unfamiliar. One day, my mom took me to the park to go play. And then I met her. She accidentally threw a ball in my face. I subsequently landed on my ass. But after some apologizing and a little bit of crying, we played for hours. After a while, our moms started talking to each other as well, and it turned out she was my next door neighbor. We walked home together and parted ways. The next day after that, we both came out and played all sorts of games. The rest is history. For a fuzzy memory, you remember a lot of it. Maybe it's just the way I tell myself how I remember it that day. But that's my story on how we met.
It's adorable. And a bit funny.
Yeah, it is. The four of us continue to exchange stories about Sayori. Good times and bad times. Funny and gloomy. Bitter and sweet. I tell them stories that even I had forgotten. All the little moments lost in the years of growing up into who I am today. Memories that I will never forget. Today was something. Even if it started off tragic, we made of it what we can. So, do we all remember our funeral plans?
Of course. It's just like planning a festival, right?
I'll take care of the planning. Just remember, we wear bright colors. You don't have to dress fancy either. We're not going to mourn her death. The funeral will be a celebration of her life. We'll do our best. You can count on us.
For Sayori.
Then it's settled. Let's all go home. Everyone leaves the living room and off to their own directions. I'm the last to leave her home. It feels bittersweet to put this chapter to a close. After what feels like an eternity, I finally close Sayori's front door and head back home. And thus, today marks the day this nightmare comes to a close. Today is different. It's been a whole week since that fateful day. I can't believe I'm standing here. This past week has been so strange. It seems the whole world around me changed after that day. I've gotten letters and messages and even money from strangers, all giving me their sympathy about Sayori's passing. Generous gifts nonetheless. I'm the first one here. The others said they'd be here soon. I take a seat and look at her gravestone. Those past memories, they're just dreams. It's over. It's time to move on. I see the others finally beginning to show up.
Hello. We're here.
Hope we didn't keep you waiting. You're awfully nice today, aren't you? It's so good to see you. You seem to be doing quite well, and only after a week. The doctors really help. I feel a lot better. I feel like a different person. I'm not my old self, nor am I the person I imagined I would be. I'm just the person I need to be.
That's good to hear. You've really been taking a stoic approach to this whole situation.
Bruh. Oh, come on now. I could never prepare myself for this situation. It's by luck and the help of my friends that I was able to get through this far. So, we got everything?
Made some cupcakes for the occasion.
I've got the drinks.
And the others will be showing up shortly. Hey, Yuri. Why don't you and Natsuki get things ready?
Ah, of course. Although this isn't an unorthodox funeral, we'll get the drinks and snacks ready.
We'll be done in no time.
The two left to do their respective tasks.
Can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
How are you so calm? You seem to be taking this better than anyone else your age.
The truth is, I've had a hell of an experience with these strange nightmares. I've had a series of them where Sayori dies, I blame you for being the cause of it, and in my very last dream, I ended up killing you. When I finally came to, it was Sunday, day before the festival. And I knew I had to visit Sayori, to tell Sayori one last time that she was loved, and that she will never be forgotten.
But, wait. You mean to tell me that your dreams predicted the future?
I don't blame you if you don't believe me.
That's borderline. I don't even know how. I don't even know the word to. I don't even know how to speak. Ah.
Out of this world? Insane? The list goes on. Something no human could ever explain, sadly.
Dreams are strange, indeed. But not without meaning.
You're right. And it's up to me to decide what they mean. That is what life is, anyway. After all, life and experience together create wisdom. I'm getting too deep into this. Let's see how the others are doing. No one's really showing up. I guess I'll move things along.
Are you nervous? Need a little pep talk?
About public speaking? I don't need it. Miss Debate Team Leader. I've just never been to one of these sorts of things before. This is all new to me. In the movies and books, they say days like this are supposed to be sad and gloomy. But while we are all grieving, I haven't felt more empowered in my life. Oh, it wouldn't matter to me if you three showed up or the entire school showed up. What matters is that her memory is being kept alive. As long as we do that, she will never truly die.
I see. Well, it looks like we have.
There was a loud crash followed by an angry Natsuki.
Yuri, you idiot! I told you to be careful and look what you did. I can't serve these anymore.
Most of Natsuki's baked goods were now laying in the grass. Bruh moment. Ants make no haste crawling on them. It was an accident, Natsuki. I swear.
Swear my ass, you clearly knocked them down.
Well, maybe it wouldn't have happened if you went with what I suggested. I warned you that if you put them too close to the edge, they would fall.
Well, they wouldn't have fallen if your fat ass didn't bump into the table. None of this would have happened.
My posterior had nothing to do with this. You should have heeded my advice.
This is your fault. You're the one who knocked her down.
I'm not going to admit anything when it was your negligence that caused this. Number 13. If anything, this is your fault.
I bet you wanted to knock down my cupcakes on purpose. You're just jealous that no one came here for your drinks.
That's not Natsuki.
You two are... Stay out of this, Monica.
Perhaps it is a good thing your cupcakes got knocked down if no one came here for my drinks.
Oh, yeah?
It would mean we're even.
Well, why don't you just go? That's enough. Both of you. You two are causing a scene. So what? No one's even here. What's the point? We're at a funeral, not the club room. That's what. So you're siding with Yuri, aren't you, Monica? I bet you wanted to promote Yuri to be the new vice president. That's not my concern right now, Natsuki. I understand you're frustrated that Yuri may or may not have knocked down all your hard work, but you shouldn't lash out on your classmates. May have? We both know she did it! Natsuki, please calm down. We can't resolve any of this if you act like this. Calm down! I am calm! You just need to see that Yuri's the one at fault here.
I am not, and you know it. You just don't want to take the blame.
And Monica over here just wants to take Yuri's side because they're all buddy-buddy. I knew you were full of yourself, Monica, but I never knew you were also a nepotist.
That is the biggest word I've heard you use all week.
Excuse me? Yuri, this is why you can't.
Alright, that's enough, you two. Now, do you two know why we're here?
We're here for Sayori's funeral.
That's what we're here for, not why.
Well, don't change your words on me.
What Stalin is getting at is that while we're here for her funeral, the reason why we're here is to honor her memory. Exactly. Sorry wouldn't want you two fighting. So if there's one day where we can put our differences aside, let it be today at least. You two can never speak to one another after today.
You're right. Yuri, I'm sorry.
My apologies, Natsuki. I wish I didn't have to raise my voice at you. Let me help you out. Yuri kneeled down and started picking up the cupcakes and piling them on a tray. When the two of them finished, they both threw it in the nearest trash bin. Yuri swung her hip and hit Natsuki.
What was that for?
I hope it isn't too big for you.
Ha ha, very funny, Yuri.
A handful of classmates and teachers show up. It's not many, but I wasn't expecting too many people to show up. Everyone settled, gathered, and settled around. I look up to the sky. I see clouds forming up there. Of all the days, the show must go on. I walk in front of the gravestone and clear my throat. Just think of it like performing a poem. Hello, everyone. Glad you all could make it. We gather here on this day to celebrate the girl who brought joy and sunshine wherever she went. The girl who lived happily without a care in the world. The girl who made friends with anyone and everyone. But I can't deny nor look away from the truth. Sayori's depression took her away from a life that could have been well lived. A longer, more fulfilling life. She leaves behind all her clubmates, her friends, her loved ones, her very dreams. It took me a while to come to terms with this fate. I mourn for her. I cry out to God, why was this his plan for her? And yet, I let it go. While I have questions and demands, I grieve. And I remember her for who she was, not what she became. Today, I carry Sayori's memories in my heart. I will lead a new life. While today is gloomy and bitter, it will lead to a brighter and sweeter tomorrow. I feel a droplet of rain fall. I feel a few more. I'll wave it off and continue going. So I say to all of you, my friends, death is not an ending. She may no longer be with us. But these feelings of grief will pass like the waves of the ocean. Tomorrow, we'll wake up and continue our lives. The world keeps spinning, but to our friends, family, and our fellow brothers and sisters on this planet, we carry the memories of those we love in our hearts. And today will be a day for Sayori. The rain starts to pour down. I can barely hear my own voice at this point. People scamper and run out of the rain as fast as they can. I guess the big man wanted me to end this. Regardless, thank you all for coming today.
Let's get out of here.
Agreed. Everyone ran for the nearby church. I opted to stay in the rain.
What are you doing? Come on, Stalin.
I ask the same of you, Monica. Out of instinct, I take off my blazer and hold it over to Monica.
Thank you, Stalin.
Of course, Monica.
You really do take after Sayori a lot, don't you?
Yeah. I always was like an older brother to her. Protecting and taking care of her. It's what I always found myself doing. Even out of accident.
You're too kind.
This is rough. You're too kind. I will never forget the kindness and compassion she taught me.
That's sweet. We should get out of here.
Agreed. Don't want to catch a cold. Two of us rush over to the church building and enter. Everyone seems to be talking amongst themselves. Good to see everyone is still having a good time. What kept you two? You could have gotten sick. Don't worry, Yuri. Sickness can't bring someone like me down. And here I thought my father was full of himself. Please, Natsuki, it's noon before I realize other people inhabit this planet. Monica and Yuri laugh a little. Natsuki's face grows with confusion. Forget it! If it makes you feel better, Natsuki, I left my stuff outside. Now we're even. Ha! You're right, Yuri. I see some people begin to leave. They wish me good luck and take their leave. I converse with the others. We exchange stories, crack jokes, and such. The rain persists for hours as more and more people leave. Soon, only the literature club and I were left. So, today was fun. Today was a fun day. What do y'all think? It didn't go according to plan, but I found solace in it. Yeah, can't complain. I mean, this kind of crap happens. Murphy's Law, I believe. Whatever can go wrong, will go wrong and has gone wrong. I think. I thought it was, whatever can happen will happen. Maybe you're right, Monica. When it rains, do you think it's God crying? I thought you weren't religious, Stalin. Doesn't hurt to ask. Besides, what else were you going to do in the meantime? Well, yes, I do. The Lord is a loving God. Love does come with pain and grief. There are times where even God can cry. Tears are one of the few things we have that can show emotion. From joy and sorrow, anger and lust, pain and love. Tears are in some way what makes us human. So if God cries, it just means God loves us as much as we love Him. What do you all think? I'm not sure. I'm not particularly religious myself either. I believe rain is like what night is today. It's an opposing but necessary force. Mother Nature is like any mother. She can't coddle and hold her children every day. Some days she must be harsh. She must leave us. In the same vein, the rain always has some association with loneliness and sadness. I think we need the rain as much as we need the sun. I don't think it means God cries. I think it's just the cycle of life taking place. You two are crazy. There's no God. And even if there was one, why would he or she need to cry? Bruh, he or she God. It's like, bruh, God is a woman. They're perfectly and above humans anyway. Like what Yuri said, it's just nature doing its thing. Interesting. What do you think? You're the one who asked. Well, rain is what you make of it. A metaphor for your troubles, a necessary part of life. Rain can be happiness, sadness, even anger. Death and renewal. The cycle of life. It's a cop-out answer, but I don't know what else to say. How come you're not religious? It's just something that never sat well with me. I'd much rather forge my own path instead of relying on something out of my control. I want to become a Superman, but that's just me. Have you ever read Thus Spoke Monica? I might have for an essay a while ago. Why do you ask? The man in the book decides to move up into the mountains and reflect on life and humanity. After 10 years of isolation, he comes down and shares his wisdom with the rest of humanity. But the man is met with ridicule and scorn. Are you sure that's the sort of life you want to live? I wouldn't have it any other way. Life is boring when people don't challenge you. That's what I loved about sharing poems with you all. I never imagined I would find such different and unique writing styles and ideas. So I don't care if people hate me and my ideas, so long as one person listens and understands and applies that knowledge to their own life and passes it down to their own kin. Then I have done my job, and it was worth it. In the same vein, it's what I'm doing with Sayuri's memory. Put it simply, Monica, I do not want to wage war against what is ugly. I do not want to accuse or accuse those who accuse. Looking away shall be my only negation.
Amor Fati, let that be my love henceforth.
What are you two going on about? This Amor Fati stuff sounds Italian, and it's making me hungry. That's a good one, Natsuki. No, really, what are you two talking about? Maybe if you had read stuff other than those fancy comic books, maybe you would understand. Oh, shut it! I'll read this book if you agree to read my mangoes. Deal? Just don't expect me to be one of those, katus. Deal. I think I know one you might enjoy. By the way, it's otaku. Consider it karma for saying Amor Fati. Very funny. Now, I think you'll like this one. It's called The End of a New Beginning. Yuri and Natsuki veer off into a conversation. I look out the window. It almost looks like it's nighttime. I look down at my phone. It's only 4 in the afternoon.
My, nice weather we're having.
Quite. It looks like hell outside. Though I always imagined hell to be dark, cold, and unforgiving. But I also thought living was hell. We're just doomed to repeat our lives until we live it right. And then we go to our maker. Fawn Maker.
So you do believe there's a god?
Funny. If I could ask for one thing in this world from God, it would be knowledge.
Knowledge? But without
wisdom, knowledge would become useless. But I've finally understood what I want to do. I have many libraries worth of knowledge. And realizing Sayuri's goal for the literature club is what she wanted to do, I finally decided.
Decided what?
I want to be a teacher. I want to pass my wisdom down to students and inspire them the same way she inspired me.
It's very poetic. Beautiful. I'm happy you found your calling, and you have a goal to strive for.
And one more thing.
Yeah?
Come with me. I need to get something on my chest.
Why not do it here? It's just the two of us.
It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right doing it here. Just follow me. I extend my hand out for Monica. She takes it. I lead her down to the altar. I feel sick down to the pit of my stomach. My heart sinks at this sight. A terrible surge of memories comes flooding back to me. I wish I could wave these memories away and pretend that moment was a long-forgotten dream. But I need to do this. I need to atone for my greatest sin.
Why are we here?
Just hear me out.
Alright, Stalin.
When I went to see Sayuri the Sunday before her death, she mentioned that you had said something. That you were right about something. She said that you were right that she would be better off if she were gone.
Stalin?
It's the truth.
So this is my fault.
It's no one's fault, Monica. There could have been thousands of other factors at play. Depression is an illness. Sometimes when we do everything that we can and do it right, we can save them. Sometimes there's nothing we really can do. Sometimes they're already beyond our help. And I know you feel terrible, that you probably blame yourself for this, Monica. And to be honest, I do too. But by the time I learned Sayuri had this, there's nothing I myself could do. Naturally, I blame myself for being dense and not seeing it sooner. I could tell how her day was based on her yawn alone. How could I not see her deep-rooted depression? If there's anything we can do now, we can build upon this. Someone in my shoes may study to be a therapist, or start a charity, so that others won't feel the same way Sayuri felt. We can learn from this, so that no other person has to feel like Sayuri felt. We can remember that if we forge onward, only to find ever more pain and despair on our way, then it's not the end.
Why are you telling me all this? It's a nice sentiment for Sayuri and all, but why? I may be the last person she spoke to. But you said there are many other factors.
I just, despite everything I've been through, I just want you to know that. I take both of my hands and hold hers. Monica, I want you to know that. Hey! Well, again, like, Monica really didn't do anything that wrong, at least that we know of. But, I guess I'll forgive you. I forgive you. Even if the guilt isn't on your shoulders alone. I forgive you, despite everything.
I don't even know where to begin. Thank you.
Almost as if on cue, the rain has finally subsided. The sun is about to set. The day is almost over. Do you want to say one last goodbye for today?
Of course.
Monica calls the other two, and the four of us head back outside. We're all standing in front of her grave. The flowers set down at her tombstone have been blown away, scattered away into the distance. While nothing could have gone right today, today was a lesson, an experience, a day I will never forget. We all share our final goodbyes and farewells to our friend. I kneeled down on the muddied earth and put my hand on the tombstone. Today is a beautiful day. I fought and fought against fate, grasping onto any sign of hope I could find, hoping that I could one day save you. I returned so many times, I forgot where all this had started. I forgot what I was even fighting for. I forgot who I was. Thought I was damned to live this life, to suffer. But now I realize I was blessed to cherish these final moments with you. I'm eternally grateful for this one chance. Life isn't living from one day to the next. It's not living it to the fullest, as cheesy as it sounds. But you wouldn't care if it sounded cheesy. All that's left is to move forward. I stand up and look to the sky. Night is about to fall. I give my final farewell, and so do the others. Thank you, Sayuri. Thank you for being my dearest friend. Your memory will carry on in my heart. As one, we all stood above her grave, one final time, and glanced up at the stars. We seemed to gaze back at us, and in that moment, a new star caught our eyes, shining brighter than all the others. A new light to guide our paths, a renewed hope, a new beginning, a new fate. Are we done? Hey. Oh, I was like hoping there would be like an actual like proper credit scene. Cause I like talking over those. You know, it's kind of fun. But you know, this mod may have been like the worst thing to ever happen to humanity. But I gotta say, for everything, for all the shit that has happened in this, the probably 10 hours of playing this, that last hour, that ending right there, it's pretty epic. Not gonna lie. You know, dare I say, bittersweet. It doesn't make up for everything that came before, but it's at least a nice bow on the shit Sunday that we got. Or however you say it, like, bro, whatever. Oh, were you expecting more? I mean, that's everything. It's over. Go play another mod. Anyway, shout out these guys on the screen, bro. Oh, you must be expecting some teaser from an next month. We gotta look it up. Do. Is there actually something here? Alright. There's one last thing. Alright, what is it? Several years later.
She's a beautiful baby girl. What should we name her? Daisy?
No.
Then what will you name her?
How about Sayuri?
Sayori? Are you sure? What if she finds out?
She'll find out at some point.
Oh, she'll find out at some point.
You're right. She isn't the old Sayuri. I want to expect her to carry her torch. She can lead a new life of her own.
I understand. She really did mean a lot to you, did she?
She did.
I'm glad you were able to make the best of it.
Yeah.
Are we naming our daughter Sayori?
That's up to you to decide.
She really is a bundle of sunshine.
How about we keep it as a middle name?
Or how about we keep it as a middle name?
That works. Spring is going to start soon. Spring brings new life.
It does.
So, come on. Let's go enjoy life. Thank you for playing Doki Doki Amor Fati. Now go enjoy life.
I need an anime girl that be fucking with me. A little badass bitch that gets down on her knees, screaming out senpai while she taking the D. Baby girl, I'ma have you yelling kimochi. I need an anime girl that be fucking with me. A little badass bitch that gets down on her knees, screaming out senpai while she taking the D. Baby girl, I'ma have you yelling kimochi.